Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, Just Staying Home with Quirky. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Some mornings arrive loudly, with alarms, rushing thoughts, and unfinished to-do lists. But mornings with Quirky begin differently. They begin with the soft rhythm of paws against the floor and the gentle sound of a tail brushing the wall like a quiet greeting. When I open my eyes, he is already there. Quirky sits beside my bed as if he has been guarding my dreams all night. His ears perk up the moment he sees me stir, and his tail begins its slow, hopeful sweep. He doesn't bark. He doesn't demand. He simply waits, eyes shining with patient joy. The first smile of my day belongs to him. The sunlight slips through the window and rests on his fur, turning him into a glowing little creature of warmth. I reach down to scratch behind his ears, and he leans into my hand as if this simple touch completes his universe. Outside, the world is already busy. Motorbikes hum past. Neighbors begin their morning chores. The air carries the smell of coffee and damp earth. Yet inside the room, time moves softly. We don't rush. Instead, we share our quiet ritual, stretching together, greeting the day slowly, and stepping into the kitchen where Quirky waits politely near his bowl. He sits before eating, always waiting for my nod, as if honoring a silent agreement between us, a small moment of trust practiced every day. While he eats, I prepare tea. He finishes quickly but doesn't run away. Instead, he rests near my feet, watching every movement as though my ordinary morning is the most interesting story ever told. And in his eyes, it truly is. Staying home with Quirky is never boring. It is a quiet adventure made of small, beautiful moments that might otherwise go unnoticed. By mid-morning, sunlight floods the living room floor, creating warm islands of light. Quirky moves from one patch to another, circling before settling down like a tiny king choosing his throne. He sighs deeply, the kind of contented sigh that makes the entire room feel calmer. When I sit down to work, he curls beside me. Sometimes his nose rests on my foot, as if to remind me he is still there. Other times, he watches the outside world through the window, alert to birds, drifting leaves, and invisible mysteries carried by the wind. Every so often, he turns to check on me, not because he needs something, but because being together matters. At noon, the house grows warm and quiet. I prepare lunch while Quirky follows, not too close, not too far, always the perfect distance between companionship and respect. When a small piece of carrot falls to the floor, he gently picks it up and looks at me proudly, as though he has helped cook the meal. After eating, we rest. This is my favorite hour of the day. The ceiling fan hums softly. The curtains breathe with the breeze. Quirky curls against my side, warm and steady, his breathing slow and peaceful. There is no pressure to do anything, no need to be productive, no race against time. In these moments, I realize that happiness is not loud. It is quiet. It is warm. It is a sleeping dog trusting you completely. Later in the afternoon, energy returns. Quirky brings me his favorite toy, not with urgency, but with hopeful enthusiasm. His tail wags in wide, joyful arcs as we play across the living room floor. He slips, skids, and spins with delightful clumsiness, living up to his name in the most charming way possible. His happiness is contagious, and without noticing, my worries loosen their grip. Evening arrives gently, painting the sky in soft orange and lavender. The air cools, and the sounds of the neighborhood soften into a peaceful rhythm. Quirky and I step outside for a short walk, not far, just enough to greet the fading day. He sniffs the ground with serious curiosity, gathering stories left behind by passing feet and wandering cats. Occasionally, he looks up to make sure I am still beside him, and when our eyes meet, his tail wags as if confirming that the world is exactly as it should be. Back home, night settles around us like a comfortable blanket. I switch on a small lamp, and Quirky circles twice before settling near the sofa. His body relaxes completely, trusting the safety of our shared space. There is something deeply comforting about ending the day this way, not with noise, but with presence. Not with distraction, but with connection. I realize that Quirky does not measure life by achievements, deadlines, or productivity. He measures it by moments. a shared glance, a gentle touch, the warmth of sitting close together. And perhaps that is why staying home with him never feels like missing out. It feels like arriving. As I sit beside him, listening to his slow breathing, I think about how easy it is to overlook the quiet gifts of companionship, especially in a world that constantly pushes us to move faster, achieve more, and stay connected to everything except the present moment. Corky teaches me something different every day, that love is often silent, that presence is more valuable than perfection, and that peace can be found in the simplest routines. Before turning off the lights, I scratch his head once more. His eyes close halfway in sleepy contentment, and his tail taps softly against the floor. The day ends exactly as it began, together. In modern life, many people feel overwhelmed by constant noise, digital distractions, and endless responsibilities. Yet animals like Corky remind us that emotional balance does not come from doing more, but from being present. Their steady companionship teaches us patience, empathy, and the importance of slowing down. Spending quiet time with a pet can reduce stress, lower anxiety, and restore emotional stability. When we pause to stroke a dog's fur, observe their peaceful breathing, or walk beside them without rushing, we reconnect with the present moment. This mindful presence improves mental clarity and strengthens our ability to cope with daily pressures. To apply these lessons, consider creating small rituals of connection each day. Take a slow walk without your phone, spend a few minutes in silence beside your pet, or simply observe their calm awareness of the world. If you do not have a pet, you can still practice this awareness by noticing nature, breathing deeply, and allowing yourself moments of stillness. Animals live without pretense. They love without condition. By learning from them, we can build gentler relationships, nurture compassion, and create a more peaceful coexistence between humans and the living world around us.